There's a quiet crisis happening right now, and it's affecting millions of men. And it's not what you think. It's not about money. It's not about dating. It's not even about career stuff. It's about the complete absence of older men in younger men's lives. One generation ago, a young man had regular contact with multiple older men who modeled how to be a man, who showed what responsibility looked like, who offered guidance when things got hard. That's almost completely gone now. And the data on what happens when that disappears is actually terrifying. In this video, I'm showing you exactly what's going wrong, why it happened, and what you can actually do about it, whether you're a young man looking for guidance or a man who's in a position to offer it. Welcome back to Deeper Dudes. Let me start with the numbers because they tell a story. In the US, we have the second highest rate of single-parent households in the entire world. Only Sweden has more. And when we say single parent, we mean single mother in about 92% of cases. Now, I want to be crystal clear about something. Single mothers are doing incredible work. Many of them are genuinely heroic. They're working multiple jobs, sacrificing everything, raising kids alone. I'm not blaming them for anything. But here's what the data shows, and this is important. When a boy loses a male role model, something concrete changes. Boys from single mother homes are dramatically more likely to be incarcerated. They're significantly less likely to graduate high school. They're much more prone to addiction. They're more vulnerable to depression and isolation. But here's the thing that makes this even more striking. Girls from single mother homes show the same college attendance, the same income, the same life outcomes as girls from two-parent homes. That's not saying single mothers are failing. That's saying something specific is missing when boys don't have older men in their lives. And we can identify what it is. It's not about money. It's not about material support. Studies control for income, and the effect persists. It's about modeling. It's about seeing how a man handles responsibility, disappointment, commitment, and difficulty. It's about watching a man work through problems instead of running from them. It's about observing how a mature man treats women, how he manages his emotions, how he shows up even when he doesn't feel like it. Here's the second piece of this crisis, and this one cuts deep. The institutional male role models are gone. Your grandfather probably had a coach who was also a teacher who was also someone who believed in him. That was one person who influenced him across multiple domains of life. He saw that man in different contexts. He watched how that man handled wins and losses. He learned not just football plays, but life plays. Today, we have specialized everything. And we've made mentorship weird. There's this strange anxiety now where a successful older man looks at a young man who could use some guidance. And instead of naturally stepping in, there's hesitation. There's worry about how it might look. There's distance. And that hesitation is recent. It's not because older men don't want to help. Most men I know desperately want to pass on what they've learned. They see young men struggling, and it breaks their hearts. But the culture around mentorship has become fraught. There's been a lot of legitimate discussion around boundaries and protection of young people, which is important. But one side effect is that many good men have stepped back entirely rather than navigate that complexity. So you have millions of young men with nobody. No father figure, no coach, no mentor, no older man who says, here's how you do this, here's what matters, here's how you handle this. And what fills that void? The void gets filled by algorithms, influencers, conspiracy, rage, and screens. When a young man is directionless and has no older male voice providing guidance, he's looking for something. Anything that makes sense of the world. Anything that gives him a role to play. If there's no real mentor, he finds a parasocial one. He finds a YouTube personality, a streamer, a podcast host, a guy selling a course about self-improvement. And if that guy is halfway competent and speaks with authority, a lonely young man will absorb it like a sponge. He'll listen to that voice for hours every day. He'll integrate that worldview. He'll adopt that personality's mannerisms, beliefs, and biases. Here's where it gets dark. If that influence is warped, if it's rooted in resentment toward women, in conspiracy thinking, in get-rich-quick schemes, the young man absorbs that too. I'm not blaming influencers. I'm saying young men are starving for guidance. And they'll take whatever guidance is available, regardless of quality. This is why you see young men falling down rabbit holes. This is why conspiracy thinking is more prevalent among men. This is why anger movements have such an easy time recruiting disaffected young men. It's not because young men are stupid or evil. It's because they're hungry for direction, and there's a void where legitimate mentors should be. Before we go any further, I want to pause for something important. None of what we've been talking about matters if we don't have the energy and clarity to actually implement it. We all know what it feels like to wake up exhausted. No energy, poor focus, and zero motivation. We also know what it feels like when we get good, restful sleep, targeted therapy, and the right supplements. I've personally tested more things than you can imagine. I'm like your personal guinea pig. Everything I have listed in the description below is science-backed and extensively tested. And if you grab anything through my links, you'll be supporting this channel at zero cost to you. Thanks for taking a look. Now let's get back to it. If this is helping, please hit that like button so more men can find this when they need it most. And drop a comment about your experience with mentorship. Whether you had it or you're searching for it, your story matters, so what should be there instead of that void? A boy needs to see a man. A real man. Someone who has his life together, or at least is actively trying to. Someone who shows up. Someone who's reliable. Someone who can sit with difficulty without falling apart. But here's the thing that's not talked about enough. Boys need to see a man who is also emotional, who can be vulnerable, who can admit when he's scared, who can cry. We've created this weird cultural moment where we celebrate male vulnerability in theory, but then we mock it in practice. We say we want men to open up, and then when they do, we call them weak. And young men are confused about what healthy masculinity actually is. They're getting mixed messages from every direction. Here's what it looks like in reality. It's a man who has the strength to be honest, who has the confidence to ask for help, who is capable of protecting others and also of being protected, who can work hard and also rest, who can be strong and also feel deeply. This is what's missing. A boy watching his father, or another man he respects, only ever present a stiff upper lip, learns that emotions are dangerous. He learns that if he's feeling something, he needs to hide it. He learns that real men don't cry, don't struggle, don't ask for help. A boy watching a man cry, not from despair but from being moved, from caring deeply, learns something different. He learns that feeling is compatible with strength. He learns that tears don't make you weak. He learns that the ability to feel deeply is actually a sign of being alive and engaged with the world. This is foundational stuff, and it's almost completely absent from how we're raising boys. The other thing boys need, and this is critical, they need to see a man who is competent and humble. Someone who knows how to do things, fix something, build something, handle something, but who also admits the limits of his knowledge. Someone who teaches, not by lecturing, but by doing things alongside the boy. This is called apprenticeship. And we've eliminated it almost completely from American culture. One place where this should naturally happen is school. But school has become one of the worst places for boys. Here's the issue. About 80% of elementary school teachers are women. About 70% of middle school teachers are women. In high school, it's closer to 60%, but still majority female. This isn't to blame female teachers. Most of them are great. They're dedicated, they care about their students, they work incredibly hard for very little pay. But here's what happens. Teachers naturally empathize with students who are like them. Female teachers are more likely to empathize with girls who are organized, who sit still, who follow rules, who are people pleasers. Boys who are kinetic, who need to move, who struggle to sit still, they get labeled as problems. They get medicated. They get sent to the office. They're told they're doing it wrong. And critically, there are almost no male role models in the building to show them what healthy masculinity looks like in an academic context. The second part of this, we've eliminated shop class, auto shop, wood shop, vocational training. We've decided as a culture that the only path to success is academic, that college is the only way. This has created a situation where a boy who isn't naturally academic, who would thrive in a vocational path, who would become an excellent electrician or plumber or carpenter, is told he's failing. He's told that unless he goes to an elite university, he's not going to have a good life. That's a lie, but it's a lie with real consequences. These boys grow up with shame instead of direction, and shame doesn't motivate, it paralyzes. Now let me talk about something that's really at the root of all this. The way we've trained men to not feel. There's this narrative that says, real men are tough. Real men don't cry. Real men figure it out alone. Real men don't ask for help. Real men bottle everything up and then wonder why they're depressed. And what happens is young men grow up unable to process emotion. They grow up thinking that vulnerability is weakness. They grow up believing that if they're struggling, it's a personal failure, rather than something they can talk about or get help with. Then something hard happens. A breakup, a job loss, a health issue, a financial crisis, something. And because they have no practice with feeling, because they have no language for what's happening internally, because they've never seen a man they respect admit to struggling, they fall apart. Or they don't fall apart outwardly, but internally they implode. This is part of why male suicide is 4 times higher than female suicide. It's not because men have harder lives. It's because men are taught to suffer in silence. And silent suffering has a breaking point. What's needed is different. What's needed is permission to feel. What's needed is older men modeling the capacity to be strong and emotional, to be capable, and to ask for help. Here's the thing. Asking for help isn't weakness. It's the opposite. It takes real strength to admit you don't have all the answers. It takes real courage to be vulnerable in front of someone. Okay, so here's the action part. What do you actually do about this? If you're a young man, find a mentor. Not in some formal, weird way. Just find an older man whose life you respect. Someone who's accomplished something real. Someone who seems grounded. Maybe it's someone at church. Maybe it's a coach. Maybe it's a coworker. Maybe it's a friend's father. Offer to help him with something, or ask him a question, or spend time around him. Don't make it weird or formal. Just be present. Most older men are starving to pass on what they know. They're waiting for a young man to show up and be interested. You'd be surprised how receptive people are when someone genuine shows interest. Be in real community, church, sports, hobby groups, volunteering, somewhere you see the same people consistently. That's where mentorship happens naturally. Do hard things, push yourself physically, learn a skill, commit to something difficult. This builds the kind of resilience and confidence that mentors recognize and want to invest in. Be vulnerable. Tell someone you trust what you're struggling with. Ask for advice. Let someone help you. This is the opposite of the message you've probably internalized, but it's the truth. If you're an older man, and this is critical, here's what you need to know. Look around. There's probably a young man in your life, nephew, coworker, friend's kid, someone at church, who could use a mentor. And you don't have to do anything fancy. Just include him. Invite him to things. Let him see how you do things. Tell him stories about your mistakes. Let him see you fail and recover. That's mentorship. Get over the weirdness. Yes, there are boundaries. Yes, there's a right way to do this. But those boundaries aren't there to keep you from helping. They're there to keep you honest. They're not a reason to step back entirely. Build community where mentorship happens naturally. Lead a group, coach a team, start a club, go to church. Do something where younger men are present and you're modeling something real. Be emotionally available. This might be the most important one. Let a young man see you struggle. Let him see you feel. Let him see that being a man isn't about perfection. It's about showing up and doing the work. Here's what I want you to really understand. Mentorship is one of the most powerful forces in a man's life. And right now, it's almost completely gone from American culture. we've created a situation where young men are isolated from older men, where they're learning how to be men from algorithms and influencers instead of from real people, where they're teaching themselves, and because they have no template, they're doing a terrible job of it. The fix isn't complicated, but it requires intention. If you're a young man, you need to find mentors. You need to be in community. You need to do hard things. You need to be vulnerable. If you're an older man, you need to show up. You need to invite younger men into your life. You need to let them see who you really are, strengths and struggles included. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. And that's actually what young men are hungry for. Drop a comment. If you're a young man, tell me what you're looking for in a mentor. If you're an older man, tell me how you're showing up for the next generation. Let's build this conversation together. Well, that's it. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, please be sure to give it a like and maybe even subscribe to Deeper Dudes. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. It all helps the channel more than you know, and it also tells us that we should make more content like this. We post videos every other day that tackle real challenges men face. Remember, struggling doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. The fact that you took time to watch this means you're ready for something better. Thanks again for watching and for checking out all the amazing products in the description below. They could jumpstart your healing journey. Catch you in the next one. Deeper Dudes. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, keep thriving.